Hi, everyone. Good morning, wherever you are. Good afternoon. I am going to hide that thing until we have people. How's it going, John?
It's going all right. I'm in Salt Lake City. I'm not in my usual spot. We've got our team meeting out here. I'm actually curious to see what the stuff looks like now that we're not dropping the link anywhere today. Let's see if we
We'll
just
see. This will be the
organically
test.
get. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
For
Where
those of you that don't know, Kelly and I's goal is like, how can we do this with the least effort possible? No marketing at all.
no,
You
that's
see who
it.
shows up.
Yeah, it's just fun. That's all it is.
Yeah. Let me show
Um,
comments.
Hi, Clem. Clem is here. So
What's up,
Clem
Clem?
just released a product, and Clem, I'm so sorry. I have not signed up for it or looked at it since you released it. So it's like a dashboard type thing for freelancers where you can like invoice your clients and update them about their stuff. And she's built it on Bubble. It looks great because Clem's a designer. And she's just smart builder. So
Drop that link.
yeah, drop the link, Clem. I've been like watching her build it over the past year, and it's like she's rebuilt stuff, she's improved stuff, and then it's all come together, and she launched it, and she's presenting it at BubbleCon or Bubble Tour, whatever, in Paris.
I know.
I am going to Paris because Clem is presenting.
Oh, yeah.
That's why. That you are the only reason, Clem. There it is. Link flow. Yeah, because it's all going to be in French, and I don't know French. So,
is the whole event going to be in French?
That's my understanding, and I think they're like translating it to English for, gringas like me.
Do all the Bubble people speak French?
I mean, there's a huge French contingent at Bubble. Did you know that?
No.
Oh my God, it's huge. Yeah, there's a big, and they're often their own little group, their little bubble.
Like within the company, or like I'm not talking about a French like Bubble
freelancers.
user. I mean like the people developers. At Bubble.
Oh no, I mean Emmanuel. Okay. Emmanuel's French.
Yeah.
And Theo is French, but I think that's it. So yeah, I guess that makes sense then. Other people who are speaking on stage who are not French probably won't be speaking French.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Clem, I'll be listening for those one or two words in English. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I just want you to just say, hi, Kelly. Those are two English words that, yeah.
We're, we don't really have an official topic today. We're just going to kind of shoot the shit. We got a couple things on our mind. Marketing is on my mind. Kelly, you got a couple things that you wanted to run down today?
Yeah. I don't know. My nose is still running.
We're going to see where this goes.
Yeah. So first thing on the list was, okay, I just want to say, so actually I know about this company because Clem posted it in a WhatsApp group. So I'm looking at different email platforms. I've been trying out Bento, which I really like. But I was teaching email last night, and in the past, I have taught new Bubble developers to use Loops for email, because Loops has both marketing and transactional, and it's pretty easy to set up, and it's like clean, it's a sort of a basic kind of platform. But I have kind of, I don't know, in the past few months, sort of, it hasn't quite worked for me in the way that I wanted it to. So I've been looking at other platforms. So I was looking at Bento, but Bento's a lot more technical. So I didn't want to teach that to these very new developers. So I was looking at Brevo, which Clem had said she has been using. And so I signed up for an account just to check it out. And within like 10 minutes, I started getting like these empty state messages on my dashboard that were like, your account is blocked. You're suspended. Your account's suspended, right? It was like very sort of like red text and like, X icons and stuff like that. And it all points to, basically, I just hadn't validated or verified my email address yet. Like, you have to do that for an email platform. And I just hadn't done it yet. And it kept like, the UI is just like screaming at me that I've done something wrong. It said I violated their terms of service by not doing all this stuff. And I was
not
just
verifying your email.
Like I'm getting to it. I'm just looking around. Give me a second, right? So I tweeted about it. I was like, this is just kind of aggressive copy, right? Maybe just you can prompt and say, oh, there's one more step you need to do before you can do this thing you're trying to do or that you're looking at. Like, you need to do this other stuff first. Totally fair. Like, I want them to tell me that, but it was just the tone of it was like so extremely. My nose is just running. Like, literally, it's just going to drip down my face while I'm talking on the internet. Anyway, sorry, everybody. Sorry. It's been one of those days, a nose running day. Anyway, so I tweeted about it, which maybe wasn't the right, I don't know. Maybe I should have put in something in support or whatever, but I just was like, hey, this is weird. And then I like got, I want to say like 2 or 3 support messages as comments, but they appeared to be bot, like their support bot that's like, please submit a ticket, support ticket. And I'm like, I don't need support. There's nothing I need from you. There's no problem. I'm just letting you know how this is perceived by a new user, right? And like, it's a French company, so it might be a sort of a cultural communication difference. I don't know,
Is the so is like, where did they respond to you? Was it on X?
It was in the
You posted
comments
on
on
Twitter,
X.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's in the comments. And I just basically said, like, I'm not going to I'm not going to do a support ticket. I just am letting you know that like this copy is really aggressive. And they a couple more times, like, please submit your DM us with your support ID or something like that. It's just so strange. And I don't mean to like put this company on blast. Whatever. But the experience of it was like a bit over the top. Do you know what I mean? And it just made me think about like how we communicate in our products and what, sometimes we just don't think about the copy that we put in our products, especially when for early users, right? We don't think about like, okay, if they've just signed up in the past, day, surely they haven't done all the stuff that they need to do yet. So like maybe change the copy for those new users, or only get aggressive once they keep trying to do something. Like, you can set that up.
I also feel like verifying your email is not like something you fuck your policy. Like, it's not a policy. Like, that's just like something you have to do to sign up. Like, violating a policy to me means like I posted something like crazy, or I used it in a way.
Spam. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're spamming people. Like, that to me is a policy violation. But I see what you mean more broadly, just about like how we communicate. There's so many things that I put into my app that I was like, this was not what I meant at all, and it wasn't clear at all to people what I was trying to say here, or I had to say more. That's usually my problem. It's like I had to say more words than less, or communicate with a picture rather than words. Like that's the part that I like, where a UI designer would helps me. I do have a UI designer now, so I'm better for that. But like, what the damn, I had a thought about your situation in particular. It went away. But whatever.
If it comes back to you, I'll just say there was one aspect of this that really bothered me, which was their request that I do something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to do anything. There's nothing that, like, basically I've just signed up for your service, like just in the past hour. And all of a sudden I'm having to do work that's not my job, if that makes sense.
And you already gave them the feedback. If a human would look at your post and say, like maybe a more human response, that's what I wanted to say. Maybe a more human response to your post would have been like, okay, these people are kind of cool. They, they sent me something weird. I posted about it and they responded in a human way. Like, we can't freaking bot everything.
And they did. There was a guy who Colum, who like responded and left his name, so I'm assuming that's a real person, but still asked me to do something, and I'm like, don't ask me, just say wow, thanks.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
We'll
Like,
look into it.
why do you care where the feedback comes from? I don't know. Like, I'll take
Yeah.
feedback from wherever I can get it, I guess. Maybe because I don't have as much as I think I should. But
Mm,
like, why are you being picked? Like, I already gave you the feedback. Why do I need to submit a support ticket to you to fix your
yeah.
language? Like, that
Yeah.
doesn't feel right.
What's interesting about it is that they have set up some automations clearly where they are getting they're responding to things. So they've set up systems to handle requests or complaints or whatever. They've set up some system, but it doesn't seem like they've set up a system to then take those things if they and get them into their system outside of me doing it, me as the
Mm.
customer doing it, right? So it's like if you're already doing the work to automate something, why not also do like automate the rest of it?
This is where, to me, like, where automation breaks down.
Yeah.
Like, this is like where the areas that, like, maybe the first response. I don't even know that's true. I don't even want to say that because, like, there's so much that gets lost in automation. I always, okay, so it goes right into what I want to talk about.
Great.
I'm going through all of the ways that I can get more user feedback on my platform. And the first way that I want to do this is very manual, right? Like, I'm taking the time to send out personalized emails to people. I don't want to do that shit forever. But
Yeah.
like, now, to at least understand what's going to get somebody who has never looked at us to respond, like the language that I want to use for that, I want to know all that before I, like, freaking what is it, click funnel or whatever, like,
Yeah.
flywheel it, like, I want to understand what I'm doing first before I set up an automation where I feel like, like, today the sentiment is like, just AI it, just automate it, just like, you don't know what you're automating yet. How are you going to automate something that you don't
Right.
understand?
Yeah.
Like, do the hard work first and then automate it when you know what you're doing. So this sounds like an example of that, where it's like you automated before, like,
Yeah.
you understood why, the reason you were automating, or there was no system to back up the automation, to your point. Some version of that. But I see that a lot.
Yeah, and I can understand, like, I think about things that I've sort of launched in the past, and I'm like, "Oh, there's just too much coming at me, and I'm just a person. Like, I need some system to kind of multiply me," right? But they're a pretty established company as far as I can tell. Like, I think they have a team. I don't think it's that it's like a solopreneur, trying to manage things and make sure there's no fires anywhere, right? I think that they are could I can't I who knows? I don't know.
This live stream could very well be just like companies that are pissing us off. We could do a segment on that if you
I'd be so good at that. So good at it.
I mean, you're a lot more vocal, I think, on Twitter about, like, things that annoy you, which is cool. We can start there. Maybe that's not the most positive thing, but it's
Yeah, I don't
prickly.
love it.
It's certainly prickly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like it's funny because I actually when I first started on Twitter, I was like not kind. I was like opinion, bleh, right? I'm gonna say shit a lot. I just was like not, and then I just realized, well, that's not actually who I am. I don't know why. You just get in a space online and you're like, no, I'm gonna be a dick, because that's how people are, right? So there was that, but also, um, I lost it. I lost it.
Well, I was thinking about your kind of, like, the you've mentioned a couple times to me, like, the tone, your tone on Twitter, and how you've kind of adjusted that over time and
Mhm.
as you've used it. And, like, I don't know if the right thing is being less opinionated, but definitely making the feedback more constructive
Yeah,
than angry. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So it doesn't come off like I am mad all the time, which is entertaining, I'm sure, for people to see. Like, that's why the
yeah,
internet is, like, so toxic, because it's entertaining to see people just lose their shit. But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
does that help anybody? I guess that's
Well,
the.
and like truthfully, I'm not. Let's be honest. Like I always talk about bubble, right? That's what I'm usually talking about. And like, I'm not angry about. Only a few times where I've been like, "What the fuck, guys?" Or I'm like mad at bubble about something,
Yeah.
um, which is usually some compounding frustration that like I've been experiencing that like they probably don't even know is a thing, and it's personal to me or whatever. So whenever I will tweet something that's like a little too spicy, I immediately feel like just a jerk. I just feel like such a
Do you
jerk
regret it
about it.
every time?
Every time, anytime I'm too spicy, I'm like, I'm sorry, Emmanuel. I'm really sorry. But then I'm like, do I delete it? Do I edit? I can't edit it. Like what do I do with this?
Yeah.
Because often I'm saying things that other people also think. I'm realizing this is, I think, why people will respond to it, because they're thinking it too, or they hadn't thought about it, but they're like, yeah, that is annoying. And so, there is some sort of, I think it feels good to hear someone struggle with something you're struggling with, just in general.
Yeah. There's I think it's a little bit cathartic, and also
Yeah.
like, is anyone else like experiencing this? Like, am I the only one that there's been a couple, like I've been so, what do you call it, on the like for one thing for Bubble was like the number of editors on the growth plan. There's like two. I know we're getting really specific into Bubble now.
Yeah, I think that's
I
right.
said
Yeah.
there's only two, and I'm like, why is that limit so low? Like, what is it about? Why are we gatekeeping the number of collaborators
Mm.
on the app? That, first off, that feels like, if it was five, I probably wouldn't care as much. But like, why can't I have five collaborators on the growth plan? I'm paying 700 and change, I think, between the plan
Gross?
and all the work. Well, I have extra workload units.
Oh,
I have to optimize some stuff. There's some pretty
okay.
inefficient workflows, so like that's on me. That's not on anyone else.
Yeah.
But I would have to go to the teams plan just to get like three more collaborators. And then what everyone told me was like, just do the agency plan and then add them as an agency plan, because agency people are free. So it's the workaround everybody has
Yeah.
found. But it's what do you
Yeah.
call it? It's
I think I've sort of gotten to a point with Bubble that I'm like, okay, I know a lot of people who work there, and they're great people. And so I don't think any of them are like maliciously not doing things that I want them to do. Right. So I try to take the stance of like, there's something I don't understand.
yeah.
There, right. And
That's
there's a
what I'm
million things I don't understand, surely.
yeah.
Right. That's just a true thing. It's not just a trick, you know, from my little brain. But yeah, I think mostly I just want to understand why.
I
And
if I take that mentality, I'm usually like, the result comes up better. First off, I get what I want. I don't put anybody on blast. And
yeah,
also, like, it's like, oh, it's just like, it's this easy. Like, this,
yeah,
someone else has figured this out already. And I didn't have to say it in a way that, like, I could have gone out and said, Bubble, why don't you do this? Add more collaborators to the growth plan. This is a stupid thing,
mhm,
and blah, 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 and just went off on it, instead of asking the questions like, hey, why do we think this is so low?
yeah,
And then like people, and I would have just got 30
yeah,
workarounds to it. It's like, oh, okay, see, that wasn't really worth my frustration. Like,
hmm
there's a way.
yeah. Like when I've talked to like Andrew or Sam at Bubble about some sort of UI quirk that I'm like, this is very stupid. Why? And they will tell you, well, here's what we were thinking. And sometimes they'll be like, we were wrong, or like, yeah, it didn't actually work the way that we thought it would, or whatever, which is what this whole thing is. Like, you try things, they work or they don't work. The problem is then when you have a product that people are actually using, and they're using it in all different ways, and they're using it so much, right? Like, how much are you in the Bubble editor? Like all day long, right? Then
Every
when they,
day,
yeah, if they just
for
start
at
making
least 4 hours.
changes, yeah. So it's like you're gonna throw off people's work stuff if you're like, okay, we're gonna do it this way, and then like a week later, you're like, all right, we're gonna change it. We're gonna do this other way because Kelly said,
Mm. Yeah,
and then
yeah,
they
yeah.
realize that doesn't work, and they're like, okay, let's do this other way. Like, you can't do that either, right? So it's like there's got to be a sweet spot there that I just haven't personally had to like negotiate, in my building, um, because I'm building for clients. They're the ones sort of taking in that feedback, and usually I'm not involved by that point.
Mm.
So I make these choices, and then I'm like, here you go, and I don't know if they work or not.
Yeah.
Whereas Bubble has to like deal with that all the time, and all their different like levels of, you know, power users like you and me versus like brand new users, that
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
anything. Yep.
So, I don't know what it's like to manage a product at that level. I will say that. with humility. I do not.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'd like to understand it. Like I was saying, like I would like to understand it, and I think that's something that like I wish Bubble did more, and a lot of companies did more. Is just like talk about what their process, their decision making process about stuff. Because I think especially on a product like this, like Bubble, people feel so strongly about it that like they like we're too emotional about the decisions that they make, and we all just kind of react like over the top. And
mm,
so I think like if there were a conversation, I could be totally wrong about this, but I feel like if there was some communication with us that's like, here are the decisions we made and why. When they do that, I feel like in the forums, it's pretty well received. Like people can still be jerks, but like for the most part, people are like, oh, okay, there's other factors here, or okay, it's on the roadmap. Great, you
do you
just
feel
relax.
as though that they're not doing? Because I think they would argue that, hey, we're doing that. Like, do you feel that would, like,
Hmm.
are we just missing where they're posting that stuff, or like is it not? I miss the why a lot. I'll answer my own question first. It's like I miss the why. It's like
Yeah,
why this, why now? I
yeah,
think is what I'm looking for, and I don't feel like I get the answer to that question, so I kind of just like stopped asking after a while. But like, why this
yeah.
and why now? That's the thing in the back of my mind that I just don't feel like I'm getting.
Right. Well, and that's the thing that people make a lot of assumptions about, right? Like everything with AI and Bubble, it's like, oh, it's their investors. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's true. Maybe
Maybe.
it's not true. Maybe, oh, they're just trying to compete with like, vibe coding. I'm sure that's true. But, they want to survive, right? And these are like getting all the hype right now. Like, but I don't know if that's true. Maybe they honestly believe that this is like the way, the right direction for the product. And like, what's interesting to me is like the things that I typically would complain about with Bubble is like UX stuff. Like, I am humble enough to know that I don't understand the landscape well enough to go, AI is the wrong thing to be focusing on or the right thing to be focusing on. Like, I assume they know more than me,
Mm.
and have thought very deep. This is what they think about all day long, kind of thing. I'm talking about leadership. Um, but, like, I'm just like a person who uses their product, like, who's new to tech, even, 4 years is like kind of nothing compared to the time. And yeah, I don't know. So I'm more and more just kind of trying to be humble.
I will second that and say, like, I'm a user and I have no business giving anyone any business advice. I'm just a user, like that's the kind of like mindset that I'm trying to
Hmm.
adopt. But if I was to make a request, it would be that, hey, why this and why now? And that's what I want to know as a user. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, all right, I want to shift gears a little bit.
Yep.
So this marketing stuff, the I want to talk about, because I'm going through this point in the company that I'm at now where it's like we're starting to think about how to market the product to directly to a consumer, or directly to, like, people in the app store. When I say consumer, I just mean like
Mm.
regular people, just regular people.
Really
So
shifting away from like a B2B.
not shifting away, but like starting to explore this new area, which is exciting because it's totally different.
Interesting.
And it's got me really focused on, like, product, like how to do product well, of course, and but also like the marketing of product. We throw around like, oh, you got it, the building. I always say this. I'm like, the building part is the easy part, but
Yeah.
getting an audience is the hard part. Um, and we can throw out something generic like, hey, yeah, you got to market your product. You need marketing. But what does that mean to a regular person who doesn't
Yeah.
know how to do marketing? Like, you can hire a marketing agency, but there's a lot of, like, you're going to get your money taken probably. So how do
My
you
guess.
learn?
Yeah.
How do you learn this stuff? And this article also, of course, came through. Actually, was it Lenny, or was it? It might have been the one that you turned me on to, Justin's
Mm.
uh, news article. I think it actually was Justin.
Cool.
So I'm gonna pull it up. And I want to kind of just talk through because he lays out all the options and why they all suck, and I don't know what the
I didn't get to the end of the article, so I'm hoping he gives you a few that are okay. But
I don't think
is it
that
all?
there is a I don't
No?
think there's a recommendation on this.
Cool. Great.
I know.
Useful. Okay.
Every marketing channel sucks. Share. Okay. Can you see this?
No.
Oh wait, I gotta pull up
There
the
we go.
screen. Oh, it is there. Okay. Okay. So why every marketing channel sucks right now. So you can kind of see like where this article is going just by the title.
Yep.
But let's talk about these, Kelly. Like I don't know that I've ever really done any of these in a meaningful way. So like when I think about hey how to market a product, these are the things that come to mind because they're just kind of like the legacy way to do things.
Yeah.
SEO takes too long. You're competing against listicles. I don't even know what the hell that means.
Oh, listicles. Yeah, like 8 ways to groom your cat. You know, 8 ways for your employees to be happier. Those are SEO-ified listicles. 8, 8
Okay.
things, 10 things, 5 things. That's what they mean.
And is that what like Google prioritizes
No,
as
I don't think it. I don't. Who knows what Google prioritizes? But it's been a strategy for the past few years of like ways to write content that people cannot not click on, and 8 ways to do something. Or like it's so compelling. It's like very, very compelling to be like, there's 8 ways, and this person's going to give me the 8. I don't
okay.
know. I'll click on them for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The
So they get a
listicle.
lot of traffic.
All right. So SEO. Have you ever done any like SEO marketing
Mm-mm.
or just used SEO in any way?
No, I looked into it. Couple, I mean, because I was a web designer before I was bubble person, and so I did have like a couple clients sort of, we want a SEO strategy, whatever, and I looked into it and I was like, this is a whole thing that's not interesting at all to me, so like I don't do it, so you need to do it yourself.
Yeah, and I think that's the way that I thought about it too. It's like this is something that I don't really care to
Yeah.
learn. I feel like there's a lot to know here.
Hmm.
And it's just not something that I think is worth my time, I guess. Like I would rather pay someone to do this is
Oh,
the way
for
that I
sure.
think about it.
Yeah, it's like it's a lot of stuff that you need to know. Like there's
Yeah.
a conversion copywriting is sort of that, like I took a course on conversion copywriting, and it's so boring to like write that way where you sort of structure. Conversion copywriting is like getting people to read stuff and then tracking whether they sign up for the thing or not, right? And it's using SEO. This is my understanding of it. It was like 10 years ago that I took this course, but it's using SEO to get people in the door through Google searches and then getting them through your funnel, into your funnel anyway. Yeah.
Right, right.
It's just, yeah, it's like you you can't just be like, I'm going to do SEO today.
I
You know what I
know,
mean?
I know.
Yeah.
And even if you do decide that it's going to take 6 months to really get any traction towards whatever you're trying to guide people to, is what I hear. 6 months, it seems to be like the magic number,
Yeah.
but you got to do it like every day. Like this
Every
is
day.
a daily commitment that you're making when you do SEO. The only thing that I want to add here that I think, and this is what seems to be what SEO is evolving into, is this AEO, answer engine optimization. You've heard of this, right? So basically, like getting recommended by ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, wherever people are going to ask their
Yep.
questions now, their LLM recommends them.
Yep.
So a new way to do SEO, I guess. Again, and there's still a ton of shit you got to learn in order to do that well, but it's a new marketing channel, is what it seems like. So that one seems a little bit exciting to me, and I kind of want to learn a little bit more about that.
Hmm.
All right. Influencer marketing. You get a big spike in traffic, but none of it converts. The spike goes away after a few days. Big creators are too expensive, and a slew of small creators need to be cobbled together. Lots of babysitting.
Hmm.
Do you have an opinion on this?
I don't really have an opinion aside from this was sort of what we did at Swapstack a little bit.
Mm,
Like if you had a big email list, our platform was for newsletter writers. And let's say you had 50,000 people on your email, then, these companies would buy an ad in your next 3, issues, the newsletter you're writing. And so it's effectively the same thing as like an influencer has lots of followers, right? And they do an ad for, I don't know, whatever vitamins or whatever. And, the idea is that you'll capture some of their audience or their audience. The idea is that their audience trusts them and trusts their recommendation on things. And so it's a higher value advertising channel than just like Google ads. Because
Yeah.
it's and these influencers depending on the field that you're in, have like a very specific niche, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So you're able to target your advertising really narrowly based on who their audience is.
Okay, understood. I mean, I guess the conversion is the part, like,
Yeah.
I guess it also depends what you're trying to do, right? Are you trying to get people to sign up? Are you trying to get people to, like, for me, the return on the investment is like feedback, learning more about what people want to see in my product.
Hmm.
For other people, I imagine it's, you want people to sign up and pay you, like, I guess it also depends on,
Yeah.
what your goal is. I don't think we need to go through every one of these, Kelly.
Yeah.
I feel like that's boring. The only other one that I think I want to talk about here is like the email marketing. This is what
Yeah.
I'm relying on right now. I think the
Oh,
most.
really?
Yeah, it's the email stuff. It's the lowest bar for, just getting in front of people.
Hmm.
I think, like, and we have email addresses. But it's so easy to get email fatigue. How many emails are people getting every day? And I
Yeah.
hate when I sign up for a service and I have to now get another email every week from
Hmm.
them, or even like, even if you want to try, like, you're always getting added to an email list here.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
uh,
I'll say, like, I think it works. Like Jeremy, my husband, he is an email marketer. That's like his main channel for his work. And it's very, very effective for him. He writes a daily newsletter it's about podcasting and it's about marketing and it's about creating. It's sort of like a varied kind of thing, but he's sort of a thought leader in that space. And so people want to hear what Jeremy thinks. And he talks about like our life and how it applies to the work that he does or the things that people create online. And it's a really interesting, it's like a really good email. I read it, not just because I'm married him. Like, I think he's really smart. And people come on his email list and then they buy things from him eventually. It might take a year for them and they open every one of his emails and then eventually they buy the big package, and they spend like $10,000 with him or whatever, right? So I think it can be very effective. But he started writing that daily email newsletter right when COVID started. So this is fucking daily for
daily.
5 years. He's been doing it. Yeah. He spends his whole morning. Like, I've thought about doing a newsletter recently. And then I realized, oh, wait, Jeremy spends like 3 hours every single day writing
Yeah.
his newsletter, and like he loves writing it. It's like a creative output for him, right? Or outlet. And so he's able to do that. But when I think about like writing about bubble for 3 hours a day, I'm like, that would be fun for like a week.
Yeah.
And then it would be a chore, you know so um
I feel
anyway.
like you have to know what you want to write about every single day. Like, you'd
Yeah,
have to know, like, what is the theme, or like, I'd love to
you have to have
actually
enough
know.
to say.
Yeah, I'd love to know what's in his head. Like, I've talked about this before, like maintaining that discipline. Like, what's in his head that is like, I can do this every day and it's not a slog. How does he? How
It's
does he?
his
How does
favorite
he
part
do
of the
that?
day.
That's
It's not
crazy.
a slog. He loves it.
Y-
Well, I mean, like, if all he does a lot more than just that, but like, if I had 3 hours to write every day, I would be in heaven. I love writing. And I would love to be able to do that and to write about whatever I want to write about, right? It's when you have to make it like shoehorn what you want to talk about into this like product that you're promoting or whatever. That I feel like could just be like so annoying to do. But
Yeah,
no, he loves it. It's like a bodybuilder going to the gym. They want to be at the gym. They like the gym.
understood.
Yeah.
Um, all right. I'm gonna skip to the bottom here and just see if there is any actual like recommendations here. Don't focus on big channels, focus on little channels. First off, you should know that all the aforementioned big mature channels will suck for you. Those channels have mostly been bid up by bigger companies and they're mostly stale to consumers.
That makes sense.
Yeah, don't
I
worry
think
about
that's what influencer marketing when it's a targeted niche, not a famous person, not like Beyonce promoting your thing, but like someone like Jeremy who has a niche, narrow audience. I think that can be really effective. I don't know if that's what they mean by focus on the little channels. Um,
maybe it's just like don't aim too big. Don't like, you're not going to compete on with like Facebook ads if you're a peasy little startup or trying to
yeah.
get your name out there. Like that's probably a waste of money.
Yeah, maybe. Although the whole sell with Facebook ads always was you can get a really narrow audience, right? Because of everything they know about us,
Yeah,
they can like you can tweak it to be really narrow. But I've never tried it. I don't know.
I've tried it. It is you run through your money. Like you have to have a big budget to
Yeah.
do that stuff. You're
Oh, interesting. Okay. Hmm.
don't worry about scaling. Okay, here you go. It's a new product with only 100 active users. If your marketing campaign gets you 500 actives, you're ecstatic. Gain a few hundred users inside an established company, and you should clean up your resume. What the hell
What does
does
that
that mean?
mean?
Thus, little channels can work. Running mini events with cool speakers, organizing a Facebook group. Okay, so I guess do things that don't scale is the recommendation there,
Okay.
like just
Sure.
small like round tables or something.
I mean,
Now
God,
let's
that's so much work though. Like imagine like planning an event, you don't know if anyone's going to show up. You got it costs money. It's like when I was working on Rote, I went to a conference in New York. I was already there for BubbleCon. And like the next day there was this nonprofit conference. So I went to that and it was actually great. I talked to several people. I got lots of people on my list, right? All right, we got probably like 15 good leads for people who were interested in what I was building. But like, if I were to fly there from Spain just to go to this conference, like that's so much effort and money. And I needed to like print business cards and like have, there was so much that went into it. And I didn't know if it was going to be successful or not. So you're taking a chance on this thing, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. Like
Mhm.
it's a hefty investment for something that you don't know is going to pay off.
Yeah.
One time is fine. Repeatable is what you do later. A lot of marketing tactics that work in the early days only work once. God,
Oh my God. Oh
your
yeah,
pro-
like a social media launch. That's interesting.
your product is brand new, so your marketing can be brand new as well. When you have a new product, it's always smart to take advantage of each of the new tech waves so that you can create something different from what's existed before. You want to be building a mobile app in 2010, not a website. What can you
Sure.
do different that no one else is doing using the new tech?
Oh my God.
Um, product is king. Blah 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 blah. All right, I don't really feel like
Yeah, is this
these
helpful
are.
at all for you?
I don't. I don't think that this is like anything that I haven't heard before. I guess none of that
Yeah.
felt very like, oh wow, that's the new thing. But I think the point is like it all sucks. Like it's going to be a ton of work, and you got to be willing to put that effort in. Is really the only thing that I take away from that.
Yeah, and listen, I'm no marketing expert, but like I think about like, you kind of go where your audience is or where are the people that you're trying to connect with, go there.
Yeah,
That's probably like the first step rather than picking the technique or the medium or the strategy, right? Like think about where your users are and then go to those places and figure out what they consume and how they consume and then consider those mediums, you know, instead of just starting from this broad like, okay, here's all my options, let me just try this one, right? You think about who you're trying to get
yeah.
and do what they consume
You
first as a
know,
first effort, right?
You know what? Kind of hearing you say that, and then like combined with just thinking through this a little, I think the way that I want to do it, instead of all this like cold outreach I don't think I'm going to stop doing that yet, but I don't think I put the effort in to really rule it out as an option. But I think what I want to do is like get the people that have responded to me because they are passionate about the product and just get them in like a 4-person group and
Mm,
just get their opinion on why would someone not pay attention to what's happening here. Like what are we
Mm,
not communicating about the value that we're delivering? Like how would
mhm,
you, well, like what would get your attention? Like, and just see,
mm.
because I had like, there are people that I think are willing to talk to me that way.
Yeah,
So maybe that's just the way to do it. Focus. Maybe I'm focusing too broadly. Like
maybe,
like
but
that
also
article.
they're going to give you like their specific viewpoint, which like it kind of goes back to, if you make changes in a product based on what one person says, it may not be the right feedback. It
Yeah.
might be just that person's feedback. Like I was thinking, last week we were talking about products you've stuck with for a long time and why. And we were going to talk this week about products you've left. And I was like, I don't think I've left any products, but I realized I left Adobe. Adobe
Mm.
after decade of working every day in Adobe and just being like, how could I ever leave Adobe? Not that I had any affection for them, but I was like, they just are the king. And then all of a sudden Figma came and just like trampled them on anything web-based. Like Figma just won. And Adobe started shutting down like their XD, I think they called it, was like their prototyping software and stuff. I know, right? Adobe, like I have not opened Adobe. I don't have a subscription anymore. I won't. But a part of that is because my work, I used to do a lot of print design for like posters and playbills and stuff when I worked in theater. Everything was print, right? And so
Yeah.
I had to use Adobe because they are the print design people. And then Figma came out, and also at that time I shifted to like I wasn't doing print anymore. I was doing all online stuff, and Figma was cheaper and easier to use. It was a cleaner interface. You could just do more with it in one program instead of multiple programs and having to kind of understand how they all talk to each other. But anyway, the point is, I changed. Adobe was never going to get me back because my what I needed changed, and it wasn't something that they offered really to the degree that this other thing was just better at it. And so I guess the point is, like, if Adobe was trying to do research on how to get me back, like that's just an exercise in futility. Why would you focus on me? I'm not your customer anymore.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. And that is like, I'm sure they do that triage all the time. Not Adobe, but any company, they just have to do that triage. Like, oh, this is the person that we're going for,
Mhm.
and this person is not that, your
Yeah.
ICP or whatever. And that
Yep.
can change. I think the only one that really comes to mind as a product that I left was, like, I'm still on it, but I don't use it ever. I don't even pay attention to it anymore. X. I used to use Twitter all the
Mhm.
time, and there was a reason. Like I did use it for like test. I think I'm trying to think of like why was I there in the first place. The first reason was that when we started the bubble boot camps, and that's just
Mhm.
where everybody was, and I thought like, oh, maybe this is a way to fill up the boot camps and just like talk on here. All the bubble people are here, so it's cool. So that
Mhm.
was like a fun friend, like a friend type motivation. And then I got into freelancing and was like, oh, this is a good place to get customers. And I started posting like, I want to get attention or get, awareness that I'm freelancing. And
Mhm.
that kind of ran its course. And then it was like a testing an ideas, like testing like a thought that I had around like, is what I'm saying even making sense, or like the way that I'm thinking about this, almost just like a sounding board for
Yeah.
a thought that I had, and see what other people think. And then finally, I think that might have been the last reason that I would post things on Twitter. And now I'm just like, I don't even know. Like I try to look through the feed sometimes and just like see what are people saying. Is this interesting to me? And
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I just can't get myself back into the daily habit of using it. And I
Yeah,
don't I don't
same.
really I,
Yeah.
I don't really understand why, I think is what
Why you
I'm saying.
left?
Well, I don't really
Yeah.
understand why I like like my interest just completely fell off.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think sometimes like things run their course. And it's
Yeah.
because Twitter was a useful thing for me, but it was more just fun. It was like fun. I made a lot of great friends from Twitter, and you know, and so it was like it was where everybody was hanging out. So like why would you not do that thing. And now it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like that. It's not fun anymore. And so for me, most of the time, it's just not fun. So like, it's not serving the purpose that it served.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
had that
It's not.
purpose.
It,
Yeah,
is it that simple? It's just not fun anymore? Is it
I
that
think so.
simple? Maybe that's what it is.
For me, it is.
I
I think.
I got this job through Twitter. I wouldn't have had this job for not the people that I had met on Twitter and literally directly posting. Hey,
Hmm.
so for I don't know, you probably know this, but I don't know if everybody does. The way I got this job, like, so I went through, once I kind of came to an end on my freelancing phase. It was I was I was applying to jobs on LinkedIn, or
Yeah.
and like the old way to do it, like
Indeed.
on
I think you
Indeed.
said
Yeah,
indeed.
Indeed.
So
It's like the old school way to apply for jobs, which is so not working these days. Everyone that I hear is like, yeah, it's like a bot, and no one is reading my
funny.
resume. So like, it's just a dead way to do things. So I realized that after about a month, I think, of applying, it's like, this is going nowhere. So I just posted on Twitter, hey, I'm looking for a
Mhm.
job, done freelancing, boom, and I got like 6 responses immediately for like an interview, and I
Wild.
was like, wow, what an idiot for not doing this earlier. Um,
But
and
why did you think that that would be the place to do it? It was just a fun place, right?
it's just where I'm like, all the bubble people are on Twitter. Why the fuck am I doing this on
Yeah,
Indeed? Like, I'm looking for a bubble job, or like just a developer
yeah.
job. I didn't have to be bubble, just like anything in the tech thing, I guess. But but yeah, like that was the place where I posted, and it worked. So like, it got me to where I am,
Mhm.
and I guess I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the people on there. Like, this could have happened on
Yeah.
Slack too, if everybody was on Slack. But
That's
it's
such
just
a good point. That's a really good point. That like it's not about the platform. It's about
it,
like everyone else who's on the platform,
right, right.
right?
And I
Huh.
guess I feel, and the people that are they're still on t- X, I think. I don't even know. Is it just
Yeah.
me that stopped paying attention, or is it like everyone stopped paying attention?
I mean, I just think I think X is a special case because just politically, when Elon Musk bought it, and I think it just sort of like there's a lot more to it than like our own personal experience of the value of the platform,
For
you
sure.
know. So
Yeah, yeah. But I'm looking for a reason to come. I just can't bring myself to do it. But that's the only one that I realized that, like, I used it
mm,
regularly, like every day. Like, part of my routine was to check it and
mhm.
post something or respond to something or whatever. And now I just do not do that at all.
Yeah,
Check your
yeah.
follower count. Like, is my follower count going up? Yeah. Don't care anymore.
Me and Jeremy had like a competition at some point, and it was like, well, he was never ahead of me. I'm gonna be honest, but and then he just quit, and I was like, this isn't fun anymore. And I've been like stuck at the same number for. I'm not like there's no effort to grow it. What does it even mean, right? But yeah, it's an interesting kind of metric that you think is important, but then you just go like, oh, doesn't matter.
Yeah. And there's people watching us on Twitter right now. Like,
Yeah. Hi. Hi, everybody.
talking shit about this is how they
Yep.
get at us.
What else are we going to talk about?
That's all I got.
That's all you got? Cool.
That's all I got this week.
That's all I got. I got nothing else.
All right. We're gonna
Cool.
sign off.
Okay. Bye, everybody. See you
Later.
later.